One of these days, I want to just copy a previous cold open word for word and see who calls me on it. Might be a silly question. That's not a question at all. Uh, Shut up. You don't know me.
Thralls! Balls! They're everywhere!
Thralls Balls. The World of Warcraft podcast with a dirty mind and a clean behind. Hosted by Bentolis, Gershom, and Woolly. Oh, what's up, swingers? From the TB headquarters in the grizzly lands of Wisconsin, I'm Woolly, and this is episode 76 of Thralls Balls. We've got a pretty great show lined up today. A new mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah. I slipped off my button. A new question of the week, and we could possibly see Gershom become head of the class. And, you know, the other part of that. I don't know. Let's find out. Anyway, Gershom is here, but Bent had something pop up that he had to go take care of. So today it is a two-person flight, a two-person dragon flight. I don't give a shit. Gershom, hi. It was your birthday.
Hi.
Happy birthday. How was your birthday?
It was good. You're bringing big energy today. I like it. So I do know you, and I am going to call you on it for recycling that fucking cold. I didn't think you were going to do the joke like right away with the copying of the cold open. I thought you were going to wait.
Immediately.
No.
It was going to be right away.
I didn't foresee that one coming at all. But yeah, it was my birthday, so I'm 40. I also happen to share my birthday with my youngest daughter, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she's my birthday twin. She was born on my 32nd birthday. So she turned 8, I turned 40. We had a party, had her friends over, had a sleepover. It was like a bunch of little girls in my house all day until like 11 o'clock today. So I'm pretty tired. I'm just ready to set sail and with my captain over here, and we're just into the salty seas of Dragonflight. And yeah, let's just go do that.
Your captain, like Captain Morgan, or our captain is a dragon, or
but all those things. And when we get to the mixed drink, we can talk about it too. Yeah.
You know, I saw somebody with a guild the other day. Their guild was our captain is a dragon. I appreciated that.
Dude, that's so rad. I will never delete that character just because of that name. Like, I was just like, I just felt so clever. Like, I don't really even like playing my evoker much. But even like, I always keep, some max levels around for like farms and stuff. So like, he'll always be there. But yeah, I'm super proud of myself for that one.
Well, what have you been up to in WoW this week?
So shit, I didn't play a whole lot. I think I finished that achievement where you do the challenges of tier, where you go and you get the like sparks of ingenuity, so you can like get your purples at the crafting table and stuff. So like there's like you have to do like 5 or 6 challenges, and I think it's like dungeons and like world content. It's like a little mix of nothing that's like horribly hard. And then after that, it opens to like where I guess random like bosses, probably in heroics and up and mythics and raid and stuff, will just like drop these things for you to craft your gear. So I'm at that point. I haven't really started farming them or crafting any more gear because I did get caught up doing time walking, because I just want to get, I think I have like 2 mounts left to get, which is like 10,000 of the tokens, and I'm sitting on like almost 2,000 of them right now. So it shouldn't take very long, especially because like I feel like every few dungeons, at least this week, I got really lucky. I got a bunch of the like quest items that you can turn in for like 500 extra badges, to the vendor for that event. So that was kind of it. And then I worked on like my Wrathion a little bit, but that was like at the last minute today. I think, yeah, not really a whole bunch other than that. How about you?
I also was doing time walking. Well, first, what's going on with Raid is I don't believe we got a new boss down this week, unfortunately. And by don't believe, I mean we didn't. We're stuck on Dathia. There's I'm not totally sure exactly what our problem is. Bent would know, but I don't have all the information he has. What I think is happening is on that fight, you get blown backward onto a platform where you have to group up and kill these ads like super quick, and you have to keep them CC'd. Meanwhile, the other half of the raid is down on the lower platform, and we keep having trouble where people can't stay alive on the lower platform, partly because we're not keeping close enough to a healer. On the upper platform, there's trouble getting the ads grouped up and stunned and shit. It would be a lot nicer if we had a second Death Knight. We just have the one, and they do their little slappy hands thing to pull them in, and it's, it's an effort. It's an effort. I feel like we'll get it this coming week.
I feel like so like I always joke with Aaron about this, especially because like not this time, but like we often end up like doing some time walkings together because he's on early in the morning as well. So like we end up like bumping paths, and we'll do a lot of time walking together. And I always tell him, like, when you do these time walkings, you sort of start to notice or get a feel for like a certain mechanic that the devs love for like those dungeons, like that set of dungeons. And I feel like in Dragonflight and a little bit of Shadowlands, they've just become this huge fan of like stacking and crowd control. And like once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know what I mean? If you go back to like Legion, the thing was like AoE. There's a huge like packs of things, and like Darkheart Thicket, like that was the thing they like to throw in your face. It was like, oh, here's like 600 guys. Like I feel like in Dragonflight and a little bit it started in Shadowlands is like there's just these huge fans of like this stack mechanics and this soaking, like, and that's hard for me too because I'm slow as fuck. I'm always like 1 second behind everyone, so when they're like, oh, we need to stack on this, I'm like, oh shit, oh, everyone's stacking. I just have like the hardest time with that.
Yeah, it can be tricky. It's part of why I think we're having the trouble on Dathia, but I think we will get there. As for time walking, yeah, definitely been doing time walking.
You guys can do it. Sorry, go ahead.
For the time walking quest, I have one left to do, and I was hoping I'd get lucky and it would just pop Maw of Souls 5 times, but it didn't. It hasn't popped it even once. It's been like fucking Eye of Ysera, where nobody said anything about it because it wasn't really that big a deal. But at one point, we wiped on that Serpentrix boss or whatever the name is, where the fucking giant eel comes out of the ground. I fucking hate that shit. So
my
we
girl
wiped.
barely made it through that. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
It was bad. We wiped because the poor healer couldn't keep up with everybody spreading all around. And then, oddly enough, we ended up getting the boss down by not doing the boss the way it was intended. We just tunneled. It was fine, though. But then, when we're running back, I know. Total Scrub Lord wiping in time walking. All hail the Scrub Lord.
Get good.
The priest healer was somehow, she was behind us because when we wiped and the rest of us released and started running back, she had that thing where you turn into the, that like, shit, what is that? You become like an angel Valkyr thing and not fully dead yet. So she was behind us running back and accidentally ran into a group of things and they killed her again. So that was, and we didn't have a warlock, or else I would have suggested we just summon across the dungeon. Not a big deal. But, you know, I do love time walking, especially when it's Legion, because that was the era that I did the most dungeoning in.
So that's the thing is like I'm always kind of in the fence. Like Legion is in my top 3 for like favorite expansions of all time, of course, but like these dungeons, like they were kind of hard. We did like a Vault of the Wardens where we almost wiped. I got lost in a fucking Blackrock hold for somehow like going up the stairs, and I got knocked down by the rocks and I got lost in there. Like thankfully it was like we were on the last boss and the group just kind of plowed ahead and like went without me, and I still got credit while I was like sitting like ass tripping over my own feet up and down these damn stairs. Like they just continued to go ahead and Dude, it was so weird. I just like couldn't get up the stairs. The rocks kept knocking me down.
I've never heard that term in my life. Ass
tripping. I just made it up. Apparently my birthday, my increasing age is making me wittier or funnier. Finally, I've waited 40 years to be funny, so now we can get started. But yeah, like, and then what else was kind of hard? Eye of Ysera, obviously. And then, yeah, I think that was where we had the most troubles. Eye of Ysera, Vault of Wardens, and the Black Rook hold. That's the one with Kurtalos Ravencrest at the end, right?
Right.
Just to be honest, one of my favorite dungeons. I like that place. But we pulled a lot of Darkheart Thicket, and I do gotta say, I do remember that being one of my favorite like campaigns when I went back and did Legion, was like the Valshara area, and like, you know, of course, like Ysera, I'm not crying, you're crying, and all that stuff. But yeah, so to go to Darkheart Thicket is pretty cool. And I also like it just reminds me, like, it just the way the books by Richard Nachtide and the War of the Ancients books was actually very well, like, for not being a huge Knack fan, I do like those books were very well received, and it's like really no doubt why they really were good. And to go back and play Darkheart Thicket and think about the War of the Ancients and stuff is like role playing is like 10 out of 10 chef's kiss. So that was a lot of fun with Time Walking too. I guess that's probably why I appreciate Legion Time Walking the most, is like the kind of War of the Ancients campaign that's, you know, in there.
Yeah, thematically I really like Darkheart Thicket. Once you get to the section with the eggs and people don't know not to step on the eggs, it's annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
we almost had a group wipe in there. Yeah, there's like a huge patch of eggs right before you go into like the alley.
What the hell is that, boss?
Dressaron.
Yes.
Dressaron. And you go down this like a windy little like root alley and there's like little mad like whelplings everywhere. Yeah. It's definitely like a mini whelps handle it sort of moment, but not everyone always handles it so great. We almost wiped on that one time. Yeah.
I was doing that earlier today, and I like out loud when somebody was knocking all the eggs over. Like the first couple times I'm like, oh, okay, that's to be expected. But then they kept doing it, and just out loud I just was yelling, not the eggs, not the eggs, and just... Oh,
like,
damn.
bro, what are you doing? Like, this is the stuff you'll hear coming out of my house like all the time.
So yeah, then there was basically just time walking. I've been also, excuse me, burped into the mic, didn't even let go of my push to talk. Excuse me, I definitely let go of the mic that time. Sorry you had to hear that though.
Take one down and pass it around, bro. Let's go.
I have been working on Centaur rep too, because I really want the green dragon scales for my druid, or drake scales rather.
My renown is still so low. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. But I think I'm at like 13 or 14. Other than that, though, that's about all I've been up to.
I was gonna say that was one other thing I forgot to do. So I didn't take like any notes this week. I thought I did, but now I can't find my notebook, so I don't know. Birthday party problems. Yeah, so I've just been flying off my ass tripping. But I did also remember how I said I was gonna go back and check the renowned vendors, because like I felt like maybe I had missed some things or never bought some things. And I did. I had like 4 or 5 things with each faction, and it was like Christmas in my backpack. It was so amazing. I got all these appearances. I got like some boots. I got a necklace. I was like, oh shit, why have I not been buying these things? I think I got like my gloves or something. It was great. And then like running heroics, I did pick up a couple like heroic blues with like 359s, I think, that kind of replaced the last of my quest gear. So I'm pretty much in like dungeon blues and purples and crafted. So we are getting there.
Did you get any more dragon riding stuff from those, or?
I didn't. Like, I kind of see the glyphs fly by sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I didn't do the glyph, but I'm still enjoying it. I went really, really far on like, I went like halfway across the Azure span on like 1 vigor. Like, if you can do it right, or maybe like, it's like just figuring out. I was just having fun figuring out like, okay, if I jump from like the highest place and then get all this speed built up. Like, you really never have to like jump at all. Sometimes you do have to jump because, like, say in Onaran Plains, there's not a lot of high places to launch yourself off of. But it's been fine. I mean, I might be like a little bit slower than everybody else, but I think in the end it's fine. I'm not gonna like give myself a headache over the glyphs right now, you know? If that's what you were asking.
Oh, the dragon glyphs. Oh no, I misunderstood. Thought you were talking about. No, I meant appearance stuff, like new scales and shit.
No, those are at like 21. I jumped ahead and I looked, and it's at 21, and I'm sitting at like 14 with everybody. But like, I didn't play a lot this week, and also like when I was playing, I was basically farming time walking because I want to get the tokens eventually, so I don't have to always do time walking. So I finished my 5, but I think I've done like an extra 5 so far. So yeah, but like on Tuesday when that ends, I think the next week's event is like Battlegrounds, which will not have my attention at all. So it'll just be back to like world quests and getting my renown up again. But I kind of really didn't visit my renown this week at all.
You know, I like Battlegrounds. I don't necessarily like the attitude people get in Battlegrounds. Like, if you fuck up even the smallest thing, they totally lose their shit. What do you mean we lost stables? How did we lose stables?
Oh my god, I just laugh at them. I don't even care. Like, people are in just there to farm like a currency, bro. Like, honestly.
It's like, we lost stables because you assholes left me alone here, and then nobody listened when I said incoming stables. Assholes. That may or may not be based on a true story.
Back to the Arathi Basin. You're Arathi Basin.
It's easily my favorite.
Your Arathi Basin, your podcast on real life events. There you go. Hey.
It's easily my favorite battleground. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I like that place. I used to like the big AVs too. People think I'm crazy, but I used to like those.
I also
walking across those huge like snowy fields. You're just a mark. Like, it's so much fun.
Fucking Korak's Revenge. Hell yeah. I don't know. I also really like the snowy Arathi Basin. It changes it just a little bit. Visibility's fuckered.
The blizzard, yeah, I've been to that one.
Like, it's fun. Just different enough that it's refreshing, but it's the same as always, so I fucking love it. Anyhow, we have been waxing poetic about PvP. That never happens on this show. I love it. There was something I wanted to... There's nowhere else in the show for it to fit. But it's an idea I had in the Collected Company Discord, and I wanted to share it with the masses, see what other people think of it. I had an idea for if Blizzard ever really wanted to truly make all classes available to all races, but that always comes with the little asterisk of except evokers. Well, I had an idea how evokers could be made playable to every race. Now, hear me out on this. So, people are also pissed off that a Drakthir's visage form can only be that, like, human elf thing or the human thing. You know what I mean? Well, if your visage form could be that of an orc or a troll or a night elf or a worgen, whatever, then you'd technically still be Drakthir, but if you had a worgen evoker, that would be your visage form, and you take on the racials of the worgen rather than the racials of the Drakthir. Now, some of that wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. Oh no, my evoker runs wild? That doesn't make sense. My evoker can't soar? Yeah, that's what that means, because you would be technically a Drakthir, but also a worgen. You know what? It just don't overthink it.
This is like very like. It's very it's very like class fantasy though. It's like right up your alley. I can see like where you're going with it, and I'm not opposed to it. I think it's cool. I just think there's a lot of like programming in there, but I'm not a programmer, so I don't really know. Maybe it wouldn't be as hard as I think. I really don't know, and I don't think it's an awful idea at all.
I also, as long as I'm talking about theoretical things, as far as Blizzard wanting, I think I've said this on the show before, as far as Blizzard wanting more races to be more classes, they don't need a lore justification for every single combination to do that. All they have
This
to
world
do
is so big now. There's been so much travel and so much experience. It almost feels like anybody should be able to be anything, except like you
Right.
always say, like a demon hunter or a death knight, because that's just too grounded in lore. Like that's it. You want to be
Like-
that, you're a death knight. That's all.
Well, I mean, every race can be a Death Knight except for Draxir. But, no, what I was gonna say is, like, they can easily open it up because all these people have been adventuring with each other. They're gonna teach each other shit. Just put, like, an academy and a consortium, whatever you want to call it, in Stormwind and Orgrimmar with a short little quest line that introduces what it is, and really that's all the lore justification you need. It's this, like, school setup where, I don't know, a Draenei could learn how to be a warlock, even though it would piss off the other Draenei. You know, like, you don't need to justify every little thing by this sect of night elves went off to learn how to be shamans. No, they can just learn. It's that simple. It really is, or it could be anyway.
I think that's a very solid bottom line. I agree with you 100%. I've always been team fucking let everybody be everything, really, except for like the really weird stuff. Yeah, but I mean, there was that, not that he's like super famous for being right all the time, but fucking Mr. GM, this is old, but I know you know where I'm talking about, right? Where he revealed the or there was a leak that had voice lines revealed that have evokers saying things about rage and like focus and stuff. So like there's obviously something in the works out there for like hunters and warriors, which I think would make a lot of sense. We talked about this last week, I know, so I'm not going to go on and on about it, but I think those two are very basic things that anyone, like you said, pick up a sword and a shield, and hunter is sort of the DPS of that. Like, oh, some guy's walking along and picks up a bow and decides to kill animals as he goes adventuring along in the world, you know? It's very adaptable to anybody, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, the perfect time to add more classes to Draxir would be 10.0.7, and we'll get to this, but there is the return to the Forbidden Reach, and so we're looking a little more at the Draxir there. That would be the perfect time for Draxir to be like, wait, who am I? I don't want to just breathe fire on these people. I want to raise a pet dog.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, like, how do you think you would work that in? And you just answered my question before I even asked you. Like, that would be very convenient and probably not too hard to write into the story, like, at all.
See, Blizzard, hire me, please. No, you don't actually. I don't want to leave where I live. Well, actually, the city. I want to leave this city. Fuck living in Milwaukee. It's the worst. Shall we move on to the mixed drink of the week? Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. It's time for the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah!
It's the mixed drink of the week, and before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody, please only partake of the mixed drink of the week, or any alcohol for that matter, if you're of legal age or legal whatever to do so. Furthermore, if we are not responsible for anything that may befall you as a result of your own stupid decisions. My finger slipped off my button as I did that, but otherwise I think it was pretty good. Anyway, we have, as of late, been bringing in-game drinks to life. So we've seen a handful of them at this point. I think we were talking about going all the way to episode 100 on this. I don't know. Maybe that was too lofty. We'll figure it out. But this week, Gershom is up with the drink, and it's the Evermurky, right?
It is the Evermurky. You are correct. Oops.
Okay. So I was thinking about this earlier, and I think I have a guess for what it is. And I'm probably way off here. But I hear that name, Evermurky. I think green. I also think murky, so like dark. So what I think it is it's kind of dark greenish, brownish, probably more on the side of green. So if it were me, what I would have done is a shot of Jaeger, because it fits with the look, and I don't think you have Jaeger in yours, but that's my guess. Because you have made it very clear that you do not like Jägermeister.
You're gonna keep throwing it out there, though.
I sure as fuck am. So Jaeger mixed with, like a green Gatorade, and I want to specifically say some sort of sour apple flavor. I'm not a cop. It just makes the most sense with the cinnamon bark that I would also think is in it. So, Jaeger, apple Gatorade, and cinnamon bark. All right, tell me how wrong I am.
You're a little wrong, but you're not all the way wrong. So here's what I did. I'm gonna go ahead and see. I'm gonna get some. We have to run some ASR.
Oh shit.
Go. Oh yeah. All right. So we have, and I've not tried this, you guys. I'm actually a little scared. So this is the Evermurky. So I got like a pint glass or like, you know, plastic tumbler, whatever. And I chilled. Didn't use ice. Chilled unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I then am adding, which I set aside in a cup ahead of time, 2 shots each of Admiral Nelson rum and Fireball. So you pour that into the almond milk, and you know what? It's looking a little bit gray.
So 4 shots total?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but it's like light liquor. Well, the rum, yeah, a little bit. And then the Fireball is not really very much alcohol. And then I'm going to pour Coca-Cola Zero into this because I'm diabetic. This looks gross. It looks like mud. It's foaming. It's all over my desk. Oh, we're going to have an issue here. Okay. That's fine. Actually, this is amazing. It's like it foamed up over. It's on my desk. That's okay. It's just a little bit and I can deal with it. This has like a nice like foamy top. I'm going to try it. I'm a little scared though. It's like all super right. Foamy. I need to take a picture of this thing. All right.
Well, let me know when you, okay. Yep. Over the lips, through the gums, look out, asshole. I am waiting with bated breath.
It is, the cinnamon is dominant, and that's not bad. It's actually kind of good. I don't think I'd like drink a ton of them, but I'll drink this one and not like throw it away. It's not awful.
Hell yeah.
But the cinnamon's mostly, yeah, I suppose if you wanted to make it less, you could, I think it was probably about 1.5 shots. I just eyeballed it in like a little snifter glass. And I didn't pour shots. I just sort of eyeballed it. So it was probably about 1.5 shots of each alcohol. So it's a little more than a shot. So, but yeah, you know what? This is cinnamony and foamy, and it looks like brown. It's like brown. So this drink is sold inside of Dire Mall, by the way. I think we forgot to mention that, right? One of the
I actually was going to ask where it came from.
Yeah, it's inside Dire Mall. I can't remember the name of the guy. I'll have to send it to Wally so we can throw it in the show notes, but whatever. But yeah, just I was thinking that Dire Mall, thinking like ogreish, sort of foamy, looks kind of muddy, tastes very like earthy with the cinnamon, but it's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is chilled, unsweetened vanilla almond milk with 2 shots of Admiral Nelson's rum. You can probably use other rum, I suppose. 2 shots of Fireball and some Coca-Cola. I like the sound of that. So next week, I'm up for the first time in a while, and I decided I'm going to do, this is not an alcoholic drink in the game, but I'm going to make it an alcoholic drink in the real life. So I'm going to be making Dragonspring water. You can get that, like, I don't know where all in the Dragon Isles you can get it. I was finding it on Centaur vendors, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. All right? All you people out there.
Wait, so it's not, so I went away for like half a second to grab my phone to take a picture of this drink, which is actually pretty good. So it's not an alcoholic one. You're just going to adapt it.
Right. In the game, it's not an alcoholic drink. In real life, it's going to be an alcoholic drink. So that is going to be the Dragonspring water. Big fat cock and balls. Tadrilla, did you drop your weights again? Did you? Yeah.
Shout out to Tajula.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what? You know what else I did? This is so random. I just remembered it because it was funny as fuck. But remember when I was saying like, which other dungeons did I have trouble with? Court of Stars, bro. I'm taking it back to when we were talking about time walking. I ditched that spot because I pulled a jamonkey and I missed the boat. I was like the last one to get on the boat and totally got left behind in Court of Stars. So shout out to jamonkey too.
No, fuck Court of Stars. Like, it's such a
That
pain.
place is garbage.
It's annoying, especially when people aren't communicating when you get to the part of the dungeon where you gotta find who the imposter is or whatever. I think we said all this last week, but it's annoying as shit. Shall we move on to the WoW news? I think we shall.
Yeah, totally. My bad.
Shalling we shall.
Time for WoW News. Motherfuckers.
Alright, so, let's get the bummer of news out of the way first. The Chinese WoW servers, and actually all Blizzard games in China, are officially inaccessible, following an inability for Blizzard and NetEase to come to a new agreement. All Blizzard games are officially unavailable now in China. I want to remind everybody that Blizzard did give Chinese players a way to back up their accounts. That had the consequence that I didn't realize. That meant they were going to be unable to ride it out until the server shuts down. So I was seeing posts online of things people were doing on the WoW servers as they came to an end. Like, it was... God, it reminds me of when the Matrix Online shut down. Like, I never played that game, but I was seeing posts where people just were spamming not like this or some other dumb shit. But it's sad, you know, because no idea when it's gonna come back on. And I really hope that that Blizzard can find a new partner soon so that Chinese players can have their fun back.
That is like such a huge chunk of the like population for that part of the world of like people playing WoW. Like that's gonna hit them in the balls too.
Yeah.
Did you see that the employees went to the campus and tore down their orc? I was like so sad.
I didn't.
Like they did it old school, like when in Simpsons when they pulled down the statue, like you know how you tie the rope around it and you go and you pull the statue down. That's like what they did. Like they threw a bunch of ropes on this thing and like yanked it down or something. I wish I'd like seen it on YouTube. I just heard about it, but I was like, damn, that's savage.
But
sad.
it would
I wish that have that orc in my house or in
your house. It wouldn't fit.
It could go on my porch and scare away my scary neighbors.
There you go. Oh, no. Here's what you do. You get that orc statue and you just plop it right on his fucking table. See him bitch about that.
Right in the chair. That's so funny. We were just we had reason to like recount that story to someone last night who hadn't heard it, and we were talking to them at our birthday party, and it was just so dumb. Somebody was like, if you don't want someone to sit at your table, why don't you just move the fucking chairs? Like just take your chairs inside or like do something. Why do you fucking anyways,
stupid.
The lamb by the stump.
Anyway, China, I hope you can get back to the table quick.
Just don't sit at my neighbor's table.
Yeah, they won't like that. There was something I wasn't going to talk about in the news, but I feel like it would be rude not to. I'm trying to find his name because I've forgotten. But there is somebody has quit the World of Warcraft Classic team, and they were real high up there because the higher ups, as in the Activision part of Activision Blizzard, were pressing him to give negative employee reviews, specifically to have a bell curve. And as you can imagine, this did not sit right with this person whose name I'm finding as I am looking this up. So he's like, I'm not going to do that. And he just kept pushing back. And they're like, no, you have to do that. And it's bullshit that
so
fucking...
what, they were trying to like rig reviews?
No, they were... they wanted a curve, basically. So they wanted someone to have bad review, like a bad employee production review or whatever you call it, specifically so they could have data to work with. And geez, where is this news article? Okay, Brian Birmingham, he has left Blizzard under protest. And I'll read what it says because it's written better than how I said it. Blizzard implemented the stack ranking system in 2021, and that is the system I'm talking about. It requires a certain number of employees to be given low reviews in order to create a bell curve. Although managers like Brian Birmingham argue that it creates unhealthy competition and erodes trust between team members. He has quit Blizzard because he was not okay with falsely giving somebody a bad review for doing a good job, and he's hoping he can return, but he doesn't really see that happening if they're going to keep that stack ranking system in place. And that is fucking ridiculous.
That seems very like Wall Streety sort of weird thing to do. Like, that's not something you'd think of like our friends at Blizzard, like that was Activision policy, maybe. I don't know.
It's ridiculous. Like,
that's really sad.
If I worked somewhere that did that, I would find a different job, because that's just rude. Like, you're gonna make your employees compete with each other like that.
And then that's like a quota. Like, someone who doesn't even deserve a bad grade is gonna get one just to create this like dynamic. So what? So the shareholders can look at it and go, well, everything's going swimmingly along over at Activision Blizzard, I guess. Here's this bell curve. Like, what are they proving to anybody by being assholes and promoting this weird like predatory environment? That's really wild.
Yeah, it also, getting that negative review negatively impacts that employee's profit sharing too. So good on you, Brian Birmingham, for standing up to that. I really hope, if this Microsoft acquisition goes through, which it's facing a few threats that we haven't really talked about on the show, if that goes through, and I hope it does, hopefully we'll see an end to that kind of garbage, because that's ridiculous. Okay, now we can move on to some more fun stuff. Patch 10.0.5 is live. That rhymes. Don't think it too much. Don't overthink it is what I meant. So, as we said last week, the trading post won't be out till February 1st, which is just a couple days after this episode posts. And with the trading post, Blizzard put out this fun little trailer that doesn't really tell us anything we didn't already know, but it's still kind of cool to watch. I would go look at it. We talked about that last week, didn't we? Or did it come up in discussion on Discord?
I can't remember if it was on or off the pod, but yeah, the video, I saw it too. I liked it. I had one thing about it though, but when you're done, I'll do to mention one thing I saw.
Oh no, what is it?
Well, it's just that so I watched it and I'm like, let me see if they tell me anything new. Like, not really. And then they're like, do achievements or what, like boom, and then it shows like a flash, like cinematic of like little just a flash, and the flash that I saw was of someone getting this achievement that was like heal 10 players. And I'm like, okay, so if you don't play a healing class, is there gonna be some other way to like get that? I'm not complaining, I'm actually just sort of questioning, like, give me 1 second.
The short version is yes, there absolutely is.
So they're gonna spread it across like a class specific or profession specific things that like you could only get in that what you're doing, that profession, for instance. So say like this might be made up, but it's like skin, 600 beasts this week or something, like something like that. Yeah, like some sort of weird grindy thing that you can get your tendies or whatever. Then it's like, if you're not a skinner, but then there's probably going to be one for enchanting, like, oh, craft, 20 potions, or right? There's got to be something across the board. So each profession will have like its own or each class sort of like DPS will have their own, healing will have their own probably.
I'm not totally positive what the specifics are, but the short version is you will have
it would make sense,
ways
right?
to get your traders tenders.
Yeah, it makes sense. Anyways, that was all I noticed. Other than that, it looks well. I'm super excited for. I actually misposted on. I think I fucked up on Twitter, and on Tuesday I was like waiting for maintenance to come down, and I was like, cool. When I get home, maintenance will be over, and blah blah blah. And I'm like so excited, can't wait to go home and check out the traders post. And what's worse is it got some likes, like it got a little bit of traction. And then I was like, oh, I got home and I was like, oh, it's on the 1st. It's not today. I was a little bummed. I'm super excited though.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that as well. What we do have as of now are transmog changes, so you can transmog certain white and gray items, and by certain I mean all of them. And that was actually hotfixed just the other day to include holiday items that weren't previously a part of that. And I don't know which specifically, I don't know which are not. Just saying, they added a little bit of that. Elsewhere in the patch, we can do the Storm's Fury event in the Primalist Future that I have not yet checked out. I flew into there, I was looking at it, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I left, still don't know exactly what it is. But I don't think it's like you can get gear from this. I think it's like cosmetic stuff, so I'm not that worried about it. Then, of course, there were class changes. The Mage Tower is back, and I have yet to look into what the ideal build for my druid will be to get the werebear, because I'm still working on that motherfucker. And the revival catalyst is now in the game, where you can go, and it operates a little bit differently than the what was it called? The catalyst thing.
Inspiration catalyst?
No, in
no.
Zereth Mortis. It was,
yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I always forget what it's called because it was like called different things.
Creation catalyst, I think. It operates a little bit differently in terms of how you get charges for it, and I don't remember exactly how it works, but I know it's a little different.
That's the one where you upgrade your tier pieces, right? So like,
no.
As someone who's not really getting tier pieces, I didn't do it in Zereth Mortis, so I don't imagine I'm going to be doing it now either. Doesn't it have to do with like raid pieces that drop or something?
You can, it'll work with Mythic Plus items too. You can turn non-tier pieces into tier pieces.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Blizzard also, believe it or not, put out a preview of what we can expect to see in 10.0.7, which I think is pretty rad that the communication is there with this. So the short version of what we're going to see in 10.0.7 is going back to the Drakthir starting area, the Forbidden Reach. There will be new max level content there. Humans and orcs are getting heritage armor. Monks are going to be available to goblins, Lightforged Draenei, and Worgen. And they are completely changing the Recruit-a-Friend system. They don't really give a lot of details about that. But what I want to touch on here are a couple things. Excuse me. The orc and human heritage armor, I think far and away the orcs win this one. It looks fucking awesome, in my opinion. A lot of people on the Tweeter sphere don't think so. But if you haven't seen it, there's this big ass skull on one of the orcs' shoulders. They're covered in like spikes and plates, and they have a little skull over their crotch and a big spiky helmet. For some reason, you can see their big old hands, their legs, and their chest, and their arms. I don't know. I'm not complaining. And then the humans just kind of look like a generic Stormwind guard. I'm a little disappointed in the human one, but it's like, what else was it going to look like? Now, Blizzard did say that there are... Where did they... I can't find it, but they did say there are variants to these. So maybe spellcasters will have like some sort of long jacket they can wear as well. I think that would be dope. And I mean like humans. Orcs, I don't know.
Do you think that they would end up with like some sort of like Kirin, not Kirin Tor? Yeah, Kirin Tor, right? Sort of looking robe. I don't know Kirin Tor and Dalaran, but like when you go to the Mage Tower and those guys that like walk around up there, like those dudes. Like I don't know, it would be like very like basic though. The orc set is pretty dope. Now, some people are saying like why doesn't it have like the horde sign as much as the skull? But I like the skull. It's kind of a throwback to more like maybe even before they were really like Thrall's horde, like the way we think of the horde now, you know, is like just orcs just being crazy. So yeah, I like it.
I mean, the concept is heritage. So the orcs have a questionable history, but they also don't deny that where they came from and the shit they did. So, you know, this is blood and honor. That's what I see looking at this heritage set. I think it looks cool.
Didn't Ner'zhul like tattoo a whole skull on his face or something at some point? Like it had something to do with like he felt like he was dead to his people because he wasn't like a good shaman or something. So like the skull does actually have like a little bit more like weird, like it's not just, oh cool, look, it's a skull because it's a game about orcs and stuff like that. I think the skull has a little bit going on in like orc culture, like where they use it and where they put it, you know.
That's more than I know, to be honest with you. And I just saw what you posted in host chat, the picture of your drink, and that looks delicious.
There's one for the gram, bro. Doesn't it look good? It's pretty good.
It looks like a milkshake. Now I want a milkshake.
Doesn't quite taste like one, but it's kind of like this weird like wannabe milkshake. You know what it would taste good with is instead of the almond milk, like maybe if you wanted it a little sweeter, you could use like horchata. That was what I was going for. It was like that creaminess. So horchata would be good with this too. But anyways, yeah, there's one for the gram. You're welcome.
You know, it's funny that you say that because when I was picking what I was going to do for the drink next week, even though we're in the news section, you know what? It's our show. We can do what we want. I was looking at the drink vendor. I'm like, well, they have this Argale milk or I don't know, the sheep thing in the Onaran Plains. I was like, I could totally make like a spin on rum chata. And then you're like, oh, I thought about maybe using horchata. I'm like, oh shit. We were on the same wavelength.
Yeah, entirely. I was actually gonna add like rum chata. The Admiral Nelson's was a good choice because it makes it strong. I was originally gonna use a little rum chata instead of rum, but rum chata is really expensive, and guess what? Admiral Nelson's isn't. So
there you go.
It's $10 for a fifth instead of like $20. So.
Oh, and one more thing. Folks. One more thing, just because I don't want to gloss over it. It's about fucking time that Worgen and Goblins got to be monks, isn't it? And Lightforged Draenei doesn't make sense to have given it to regular Draenei and then not... Well, I suppose Lightforged Draenei came from space and there weren't monks in space. But still, it's about damn time.
Monks in space!
Now I'm just picturing Kermit the Frog, like, doing the crane kick or whatever.
While he drinks his tea and he's like, that's not my business.
So that's actually all the news we have. So let's move on to the question of the week.
Question of the week.
So last week we asked, what do you think of Dragonflight at this point in the expansion? And we got some answers from the people. We got answers on Discord. We got one answer on TikTok. I forgot to look on Twitter. So if you answered on Twitter, I'm sorry. So from Discord, which you, by the way, can and should join, you can go to thrallsballs.com and join us in the server there, having a little fun. First answer came from Cyrub. He said, loving it. Just enough stuff to entertain me, but not so much homework that I feel overwhelmed. It's a great way of putting it.
It really is. And then his co-host over there, Pro Jolly, says, the Ulduar release has taken most of my time with Classic, but the leveling process and little bit of endgame I've touched on have been great. curious to see what happens with the other primalists and how the different groups develop in the Dragon Isles. Like, all these are such good answers. Like, we're just getting started. It's just, yeah, that's good. So, yeah, thanks, Cyrub and Prajali. Scrub versus the world. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, go check them out. They're good. Ludovic says, who, by the way, is new to the server. Welcome to the server, Ludovic. He says, currently I am enjoying it an extremely positive amount. Only been back about a week, but it does feel a lot better. At least for the moment, it doesn't feel like there's chores that must be done. It is a ton of fun, and I really enjoy the dragon riding for sure. Yeah, that seems to be the consensus among the player base, is it doesn't, most of the stuff doesn't really feel required. Like, yes, I'm grinding Centaur rep, but I don't need the green dragon scales to, I don't know, kill Razagath or anything like that.
I kind of remember how I told you, so I went like renown shopping earlier in the week, like, and then we'll read the rest of the answers. But I was like looking ahead, like, this goes really far and there's a lot, and I know that the possibilities are going to be out there in the game, that at some point there's going to be like a grind that I'm doing to get some of these things, but it's just, it is good, but it's not my turn, so we'll do that later. Shantyman says, currently loving it. I've been balancing it with old world stuff so I can extend those warm fuzzies. Lesson learned from Shadowlands. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Shanty. I feel like we were all kind of at the end of our warm and fuzzies by the time Shadowlands ran around. I mean, we had to run a whole extra season of like faded raids if that's what you wanted to do. Like, it was really just I think probably the worst content drought, the worst I've ever felt it anyways, but also didn't play every expansion current, so I know you're lighting up, so go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was only yawning. Sorry, I'm tired. Immune says, Dragonflight has been great so far. The raid is fun and definitely tuned easier than the Shadowlands ones. The dungeons have been challenging, and the questing was S tier as usual. It also feels super alt-friendly, which is nice, and boy howdy are professions their whole own monster in a good way. Definitely feels like there's too much to do, which is an awesome problem to have. I'm gonna confess, I haven't gotten really too much into the professions, and I kind of feel like I need to, because that's where the gold is, and everything is fucking expensive. That was me adding on to that last part about the professions. I haven't done shit.
I am straight gathering, and you know what? Like, it does make you a little bit of money, but to, like I said last week, to craft just like a purple, it's gonna cost me like at least 20k between the mats and, you know, a tip. So it's not like you're not paying for it because you're going around farming the stuff to do it, but it's it does get expensive. Yeah, definitely.
What has happened to this game that, and I'm not saying this is necessarily end of the world bad thing, but what has happened to this game that 20k suddenly doesn't really feel like that much?
It's just like a lot of like the gold just went really high. Like, I'm not like a WoW economist in any way. I just sell my shit for whatever the auction house says to sell it for. I vendor everything else and I get out of town. Like, I do not do any kind of like gambling or even crafting or really anything like that. So I don't know. I remember in Classic though, like when you got to level 40 and you needed that 100 gold for your Raptor, it was kind of like your whole guild would have to help you pay for your Raptor. It was like the guild version of like GoFundMe. Like, I did not have 100 gold at level 40 in Classic, so I don't know. It's probably just bloated and weird.
I got bitched at by there was a guild I was in from Wrath until like the end of Warlords. Well, actually no, straight through Legion, because technically I'm still part of it, but it's been dead since Mists of Pandaria. But like we tried a revival. It was either WoD or Legion, and I gave 2 new members like 500 gold each, just without them asking, by the way. And my friend and at the time guildmaster whispered me like, no, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want people to think they could just get shit for free, blah 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 blah. Like, damn. Okay.
No, straight up in my guild in before I switched to Area 52, when I was still on Malorn, my guild master, he was like he just wasn't shy. He was like, if you want to donate for my Brutosaur, that'd be rad. You know, it's really expensive. Like, I don't have that. I gave him 50K, and that didn't feel like much. All it was one of those things that put like a dent in my wallet. Like 50K is a lot. But yeah, I don't know, like somewhere along the line the economy just did get a little like bloated and weird, and things just sell for more. But the big numbers kind of feel nice too. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, oh, Nazaroth millionaire, like that was kind of cool to see 1 million gold like flash up. I'm sitting back at like 500,000 all the time now. I don't even remember what I bought. I think it was just catch-up gear for everybody probably, and just maybe I bought some faded raids and stuff like that. But it's kind of nice to have those big numbers, and then people charge them and you have it. I feel like back in the day, like if you were broke, you might be broke, like you couldn't do anything. I feel like if you want to put in like a modicum of effort, you could have enough money to even buy something if you need, you know what I mean? Like the gold is not as hard, like it comes easier, and it feels better these days, I think.
Yeah, shit's expensive as fuck, but it's also easy to get gold.
It's attainable. Yeah, it's attainable. And no matter how you decide to engage with the content, there's ways to get gold. I mean, if you want to do time walking all week, those are 100 gold a piece. You go and do 20, 30 of those over the weekend, you've got like 3,000 gold, which isn't a lot, but it adds up. So I think it's easier to get money now and do that.
Yeah. Do you want to read Aaron's heavily sarcastic answer?
Well, we did always say troll answers, so here goes Aaron. That's Bentolis' stand. So he says, my dragon has difficulty maintaining actual flight, and after roughly a minute, he's just gliding. 0 out of 10 expansion, rename it Dragon Glide. And so I actually told him on the Discord, speaking of getting in on the fun, I said, Aaron, there's a pill for that, and it's called Viagra. So I think he's having a personal problem, because I flew halfway across Azure Span on like 2, what's it called? Velocity or whatever, those little blue
the search forward thing.
The circles, where
vigor.
you like vigor. There it is. Yep, not velocity, vigor. Yep.
Yeah,
oh.
And
sorry, Aaron. Wah, wah.
It's basically a non-issue when you have your dragon riding maxed out. I've got 6 vigor, and I do still on occasion run out. It does still happen, but
I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron just made that troll answer and probably has his dragon riding.
Oh, he
maxed
probably
out.
did. He probably
Slide whistle does. I think he mentioned at some point that he had it maxed out. So
I think
that's
most
pretty
people
cool, because I think
actually
you get like 6 vigor. I'm like so proud of that. I can't get those glyphs. That's just one of those things that I'm not gonna do this tier, I guess. I don't know.
It is what it is. And then we had one answer from TikTok, easily the worst answer. I'm joking. It's from Craig.
Yo,
hang on.
Craig.
Gotta sneeze. Oh,
Craig
Jesus.
Craig got sneezed on.
Yeah, I didn't hit my push to talk button for that, so you're the only one who heard that extremely loud scream of a sneeze. Although I'm sure in the other room, Shailene was like, what in the fuck was that? Anyway, Craig's answer came from TikTok. He said, the raids are all right, but overall kind of disappointed. And while I disagree, I think I'll go listen to getting buffed a little closer to see what his complaints are, because I don't want an echo chamber. Like, I want to hear from people who have different viewpoints than me, and I'd like to know what about oh, by the way, listen to Craig's show, Getting Buffed. I would like to know what it is about Dragonflight that he doesn't like, and other people as well. I
was gonna say, like, if we were one of those podcasts that inserted noises into things, it'd be like, bruh, boom. Like, I need to know what he's thinking. I'm gonna jump in their Discord. You can jump in their Discord at some point too. Craig and Miracle, those guys, salutations. They're amazing.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, brother, like, what are you thinking? Do you want to? My thoughts are all like verklempt right now. Do you want to talk about our answers? Do you want to go ahead?
My answer is basically, I am loving almost everything there is to love about Dragonflight. There's very little I have a problem with. However, I am maining my Drakthir Evoker this tier, which, even though my heart is with Druid, I'm having fun on the Evoker. I'm slowly getting my mind wrapped around it. I feel like I've sacrificed Transmog to play my Evoker, and that is very disappointing, because I've gotten to the point where I just hid the belt and hid the shoulders on my Visage form and just did the barbershop armor, and I spend most of my time in my dragon form now because I'm so tired of the shit not matching up between the two, and it doesn't feel good. My other complaint does have to do with dragon riding. As much as I love it, as much as I think it's a great system, it would be nice if we could toggle that from just dragon riding to normal flight. So like if I needed to hover so I didn't get
Something's gotta happen. Yeah, something's gotta happen with that, because everybody, like myself included, and I can think of at least a few other people I've said who, like, I really miss like kind of like scouting the area on your flying map, you know, and just sort of like swooping in and getting the quest target. Although the challenge is fun, and I found myself actually getting like incrementally better at dragon flying, like being able to narrow in on things and read like how many yards there are left, and just kind of getting a sense of like how much vigor you have left. So I know when I first started, I hated this system. I didn't like it at all. I don't know if I complained on pod, but I definitely complained off pod. I was like, I don't like this. This doesn't make any sense. But like once you get the hang of it, you do. It's fun, but it is definitely I do agree with you. I think that's a really good idea, either allowing you to like in your options, you know, whether it would be like your game options or your mount options or something, where you could toggle it on and off, or you could make yourself be able to like just hover or cruise along slowly, you know, without like barreling through the zone and not being able to see anything, or grab materials, or like if you find like a rare, if you're flying over and you see a rare and you're like, whoops, let me turn around and go back. Like when you're dragon flying, you can't do that. You'll just blow by a rare and be like, oh shit, like I never had a chance to get that because I was already en route to somewhere else, you know?
Yeah. What is that roughly your answer as well?
I mean, yeah, other than that, I was laughing to myself a lot because people are trying to like say this like honeymoon is over thing, and I'm like, okay, all right, if the weeks after Dragonflight were the honeymoon, which, you know, I guess everyone equates to like a ton of like raunchy sex, then I feel like we're in that phase where like we're back and we're getting our house set up, and we're still definitely having like regular, fairly raunchy sex. So it's not quite as exciting once you kind of get some things like figured out, but I'm definitely not as frustrated either. And I feel like overall I'm just having a lot of fun. I'm liking the questing, and I think we saw with everyone else who answered that the major good thing is that there's no lack of content to participate in, like whatsoever. It's like across the board. Like nobody's gonna say, well, there's nothing to do in Dragonflight today. So I am loving that. It actually took me a few weeks just to get a grasp on what I want to do and what I can set aside and stuff like that. So like even as a casual player, having like a schedule to shuffle around and say, well, there's hunts and there's heroics and there's weekly events, like there's definitely a lot going on right now. So I'm loving that. I think that's going to be my final answer, Regis.
Yeah, and I still have one-time walking quests to do on my evoker. I still have 4 to do on my druid. There's always something to do. So new question for next week, and this question was Bent's idea, and I love it. It's perfectly thematic for where we are. Fuck, marry, kill Ysera, Alextrasza, or Chromie. Which one would you fuck? Which one would you marry? Which one would you kill? And I am very upset to know that I'm going to hear about how a lot of people want to stuff Chromie. That's going to be upsetting. But you can answer that in our Discord server by going to thrallsballs.com. You can even email your answer to thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can submit your answer to our posts about it on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at ThrallsBallsPod. You might have noticed I didn't say Hive. That's because for the moment, I'm just continuing the use of our Hive account because there is not a desktop version of that particular service yet. And because of that, I've been having to go through an emulator, and it's a pain in the ass. So, gonna be, coming back to that at some point in the future. Do you want to hit the trivia? We are at an hour, so we can squeeze the trivia in here. We can see if you're going to be head of the class.
We could check it out. Sure, why not?
All right, head of the class, eater of ass.
I won't talk too much. We'll see.
So this is going to be 10 questions. And for the uninitiated, in order to be considered head of the class and eater of ass, you have to score at least 80% on this trivia pop quiz. All right, Gershom. So, question 1. What is the and these questions are all Shadowlands themed, and Bentolis came up with them and sent it.
Questions? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Bent sent
right.
these.
Okay.
He was going to ask the two of us, but then something came up and he wasn't able to be here today, so he sent me his questions. What is the name of Prince Renathal's pet?
Prince Renathal's pet?
To give you a little bit of a hint, it's one of those Gargan bear dog things, or Gorgon, whatever they are.
Wow. No, I knew I was gonna suck at this. I told you. God, I don't remember. I don't even remember him having a pet, to be honest.
It's Vrednik.
Vrednik?
Vrednik.
Okay.
All right, question 2. In one of the story quest lines in patch 9.2, we are sent to Revendreth where we encounter a Stoneborn who ends up being a Dreadlord. Who is the NPC that reveals this Stoneborn to be the Dreadlord?
Was it Lady Moonberry?
It is not.
No. General Dr. Avon.
You were closer there. It is Stonewright. It was the Stonewright.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Okay, so you gotta... Wait a minute.
I am very bad at trivia. We gotta come up with a new section. Don't do Mad Libs again.
Okay, so I'm changing Bent's question on this because for the answer he just wrote plenty. Question 3. In each zone, as in Maldraxxus, Revendreth, Bastion, and Ardenweald, we encounter a dead NPC from WoW lore. He wrote 3, I'm just gonna say name 2 of those NPCs. But you can only use 1 from each zone.
Wait, so characters that died in WoW that show up in the Shadowlands?
Yes.
Oh, plenty. Okay. Well, there's Jaka, Ysera.
All right, that's enough. You got the point.
Yay! I was gonna say Geralt. Does Geralt count? He's in the raid. I don't know.
You do technically have to get every question right from here on, but
yeah, that's not gonna happen. But let's have a good time. Okay, this little adult milkshake did me quite nicely.
You actually might. I'm looking at some of these questions. Prior to becoming the jailer, what position did Zaval hold within the Shadowlands afterlife hierarchy?
He was the arbiter.
There we go. Yay. What is the name of the broker NPC we assist in the Maw?
Venari?
Hell yeah. Okay. There are 3 raids in the Shadowlands. Castle Nathria, Sanctum of Domination, and Sepulchre of the First Ones. Name the final boss for each of those 3 raids.
Okay, so Castle was Daddy D. Sanctum was Sylvanas. And Sepulchre was Zaval, right?
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like he phoned these questions in a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, so we are up now to question 7.
Why do you not want me to be the eater of ass? Don't you just want to call me the eater of ass? No,
I don't know.
it's kind of uncomfortable, actually.
We're on question 7, and you've missed 2 so far. So you are now at 5 out of 7.
I do have to get all of them right. You said,
Or
yeah, so
5.
I'd have to get all of them right. Yeah.
So question 7. This is a really easy one. Who's the sister of the Winter Queen?
Alone.
Yep.
I almost said Ysera. Like an idiot.
I could hear it on the tip of your tongue there. I'm like, no, please don't.
No,
I just said it
say
was
it.
easy. Question 8. In the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon, we travel to 2 existing zones on Azeroth. Name just one of them. Jeez, I don't know if I ever did Tazavesh.
I did it like twice on like my mythic. Like I did like a mythic in there. You go to 2 zones on Azeroth, and I just need to name one of them.
Right.
Tazavesh?
I'll help you out here. One of them is on the Broken Isles, and another comes from BFA.
Oh my god, I failed. I did Tazavesh like once, and I don't remember that happening at all.
I never did Tazavesh at all. I did.
Everybody gets the glider. Ask Slide Whistle. Everybody gets the glider.
Yeah, apparently.
No, you don't. It's not true. It's not true. He just got it, and he was like, "I think we all get it."
I went in to try to do it once, and the first boss was bugged, so we gave up.
Okay, what's the answer? I'm curious.
Tiergard Sound and Stormheim.
You're like the weirdest place. I don't even know how that works out. Yeah, I definitely didn't ever see that in my like 2 runs there. Anyways, well, so I lost my title, but we can still play the last few questions, I guess. Yeah, sure.
So I feel like this is a little unfair to you because you don't raid. But who are the 2 dreadlords we fight in the sepulcher of the first ones?
Is it like Very Mathras and oh my god, it's like a female. Oh my god, I swear I feel like it's a female one because everyone was like, oh my god, female dreadlord. I don't remember. Was it Very Mathras and his wife or something?
It's Contessa and Mal'Ganis.
Oh my bad.
Also, I think we killed Verimathras in Legion for good.
For good? I don't know.
I think so.
Dreadlords are like the cockroaches of the WoW universe, I swear.
Because we killed him on Argus, and Argus is in the Twisting Nether, right? So, I don't fucking know. Although, where would he have gone? Detroit? South Park reference.
Who wants to go to Detroit?
All right, question 10.
Oh shit, that was a South Park reference? We're a South Park podcast again.
Yeah, it was when you get killed in hell and then you show up in hell again.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Saddam Hussein being like, well, where was I going to go? Detroit?
Yeah, I remember now. As soon as you said it, I was like, fuck.
All right, so question 10. What is the name of Draka's pet in Maldraxxus?
I know this because there is a fucking quest. Hold on, let me think.
And you throw a little skull for him to pick up.
Deathfang.
That's Deathfang. All
Love
right.
that guy.
So you came in at 60%.
There should just be a new goal to like constantly fail like me. Like it's just so ridiculous. I'm the worst at this. It's so much fun though.
Hey,
like I'm not being salty.
Degrees.
It's fun. It's fun for me. It's hilarious.
6 out of 10 would be a 60%. That would be a D, and in the American school system, that is considered a passing grade. Oh my God, we're all so fucked.
I got socially promoted right into Warcraft lore.
There we go.
There it is.
All right, well, final thoughts before we close on out.
Socially promote me into your hearts. Thank you. Actually, no, thank you, Swingers. So I got some birthday wishes. I thought that was very special. And just doing this pod means a lot to me. It makes me feel happy. Makes me feel the warm and fuzzies. So thank you for the birthday wishes. Thanks for the listens. And yeah, I'm gonna pizzle on out of here, I guess.
My final thought is, speaking of our TikTok, I happened upon a stream through TikTok. Rake and Bake followed us on TikTok, and I went and checked out her stream. Turns out she also plays on Proudmoore. She's a feral druid, so, shout out to Rake and Bake. That's my final thought. All right, well, we are going to go ahead and get on out of here. You can go ahead and follow us in the places. On Twitter, we are at Woolly08, that's me, at Hunter Gershom, Gershom, at Bentolis_outlaw, and at ThrallsBallsPod on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We're technically that on Hive too, but we'll see what happens there. You can send us an email with any feedback, and we'd love to read it on the air, thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to submit a review on the podcast directory at bonusroll.gg. And don't forget to join Discord by going to thrallsballs.com, and you just get yeeted right into the server. All right, bye. We love you. Be good.
Bye, swingers. We love you. Be good.